What's up, y'all? It's just Rhonda. Welcome to my channel. And I got a guest over here, Miss Kiara. Princess Kiara's here.
Hey, y'all.
Oh my gosh, this is so funny. Hey, Shayna. I watched your interview with Shayna last night. I was all in the bushes with, the popcorn going on. Shayna is one of my faves.
She said the same thing about you.
Well, I mean, that's nice to hear when you know you got people. We need people.
Yeah,
Y'all found that out over there. You're the first woman castmate that has come to talk to me. I always like the guys come over, and which is cool because I'm glad to see anybody. I only really talk to the people that I like.
Well, I hope you like me.
I did. So I was like over there, girl. We'll get into it. So when you were over there with Shayna, I found out you're a Taurus.
Yes.
I like to know that. Are you attached at all to your zodiac sign? Because I'm very attached to mine.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I just know that Taurus are very stubborn, and I know that resonates with me. So that's really the only thing that I know.
Well, that was my question. Stubborn, strong, determined, loyal. Do all of those things sound like stuff that you identify with?
Yes.
It's very funny because I mean, I like it's like understanding people's personalities. So I'm not the type of person that's gonna be like, no, we're not compatible, so I can't go out with you or date you or anything like that. But it helps me understand like personality. It's kind of like love language, another,
Yeah, no, I definitely understand it.
Yeah. My symbol is the goat. And I remember growing up going, a goat? I don't want to be a goat.
And now you know what the goat means, so that's a good thing.
Well, that and it's actually mountain goat. So if you go and study like the mountain goat and how careful they have to be when they move, I was like, oh, that sounds exactly like me. Like I'll go, but I'll be like, I'm coming. I'm not gonna necessarily go with y'all. But so what about the bull? Do you think kind of like attaches that to your personality? There has to be something.
I think a little bit. I think I'm gonna use this reference. When the bulls see red, what they do? Charge. And I feel like that's me. And I mean, you guys got to see it on one episode, but I know how I am in real life, and it's not far off.
Unpopular opinion. I wasn't mad at that. But yeah. So okay. You are a self-proclaimed princess.
Yes.
And you're an only child.
Yes.
Who's responsible for instilling these princess requirements? Was it your mom or your dad?
So I'm gonna say it was my mom, but it was also my grandpa. My grandpa, I'm like the first everything. First, niece, first grandchild, first everything. So I was this spoiled brat, and that was just kind of like how I grew up. So I blame them all. It doesn't just go to one. I blame them all.
Grandpop is a whole nother level. That's even worse.
Yes.
But I feel like that's how it should be, though. Like I feel like the men in your life, like your uncles. My father passed away when I was 2 years old, right before I turned 2. But all his brothers like stepped up and made sure that you understand that this is how things are supposed to be.
Right.
So I'm not mad at that. Yay, grandpa. And yay, mom, because I think coming from mom is very different. Yeah. So what does that look like with your mom creating a princess?
I don't think she did it intentionally. I think, to be honest, for her, it was more so to fill a void, because my dad was the type where it's though like he pick and choose when he wants to deal or tolerate somebody. So I think for her, like as my mom, she didn't want me to fill a void. So she kind of went above and beyond so I wouldn't feel that. And, just got spoiled in the process.
I like spoiled. I mean, you said brat. I didn't say that. I think they go together, but they don't have to. I think spoiled, yes, absolutely. What does that mean? That means you like to be treated nice the way you want to be treated. So What's the opposite of being spoiled? I don't want that.
Yeah, I don't want that either. And I actually don't think that I'm a brat, because I'm not like having a temper tantrum when I'm not being spoiled or when things don't go my way. It's just that I expect this certain way. And then if it's not that way, I'm going to bring it up again to give you the option to fix it. And then if you don't, then that's just when I know, like, all
I'm
right,
not gonna keep asking
yeah, like,
because my pop told me I ain't have to. You're supposed to just. It's
listen, my pop is going to let
understood.
me have my way. So, yeah,
Maybe I'm kind of like it's a conversation, so I have notes here, but I'll get all over the place if that's okay.
that's fine.
Um, Maybe the issue with some of these men is they don't necessarily have their grandfathers and their fathers to, be
Kind
the
of,
example.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. My uncle stepped up for me and they also stepped up for my son. So,
Mhm.
and his dad, not so great. His dad's brothers, amazing. So, I feel like
Yeah.
wherever it comes from, it's a good
It's,
thing.
I agree.
What was it like growing up in Philly for you?
So for me, actually, it wasn't bad. I don't have like this got it out the mud story that like I struggled or like I have any type of like childhood trauma. Like I don't have any of that. Like I've always felt loved by my family. I don't have any trauma. So I think it was pretty good. I was really a church girl, so I grew up in a church. So I spent a lot of time in the church. Um,
Okay.
so yeah, it was good.
Well, y'all had that in common. Jay said the same thing, which I think is a good thing. I've said the same thing. Like, and I've been in relationships with men who have
Right.
gone through childhood trauma, and I'm
Mhm.
like, I don't want to feel bad, but it was really like not that over here.
Right.
Um, so how old were you when you became a mom?
I was 19 when I became a mom. Yes, I was
Okay.
young. Like, so I got pregnant when I was 18. I got
Mhm.
pregnant my first year, first semester of college, which is crazy. But I did go back. I went back my sophomore year. I ended up I had my son in July, so I was able to go back. I did my sophomore year, and then my mom was like, okay, you have to get a job to take care of this baby. Like, girl, like you got to figure it out.
Mhm.
So I took a 7-year break, and I ended up having another baby, and then I went back and finished my bachelor's. So
The bachelor's in what?
I have a degree in broadcast communications.
Oh well, so you belong here. This is where you're supposed to be in front of the
Yeah,
camera.
I was a news girl. Like that was my thing, like doing the news. Like so I thought that I was gonna do that forever, but the schedule just wasn't conducive with like me being a mom and all of
Mhm.
that stuff. So, priorities, you had to the kids come first. So that was kind of what happened.
7 years is a big gap.
Mhm.
I have that same. Our story is actually very similar. I had my son when I was 20. I went to school. I got pregnant my freshman year. I went to fashion school, so I only had
Mhm.
to go back make up 1 year.
Okay.
But same thing. Like I was a mom very young in
Yeah.
the ATL. So you in Philly. So you're a young mom and you're in a relationship though with your kids, dad.
I was at the
Yeah.
time. Yep, I was.
So you were like, that's different. How long were y'all in a relationship?
So we were actually together for a really long time. So I met him when I was 15.
Hmm.
Um, and I want to say I had my second son when I was like 26. So I'm going to say maybe until I was like 28.
Okay.
Yep.
So when do your wilding out years come? Because I was lucky. Like I had my son, but then I got to wild out until I was 30.
So I didn't really have like a wilding out year because I was in a relationship. I was a mom. So when all of my friends had the chance to have like their wilding out time, I
You
didn't
were,
have the
yeah.
opportunity. I was a mom. So what I will say is like we did break up, so it wasn't like a straight stretch. So it was times where I did get to date other people and kind of explore, but it was still a thing where we always just still came back to each other.
Well, yeah, because you're a family now, and that's different to know.
Yeah.
So then we know he got incarcerated.
hmm
How old were you then?
So it was actually twice. So both of the times I was in my 20s. So it was one time where he was gone for maybe like 3 years, maybe.
Mhm.
And this was before I had my second son. And then I had my second son, and when he was 2, so I want to say I was probably like 28. That's when he was incarcerated for the amount of time that he was, like during the show and everything. He's home now,
Okay.
but during the show, yeah, it was a good maybe like almost 7 years.
So not separate, 3 and then 4, like that.
Yeah, so it was like 3 years and then 7 years. That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So, but you're still very young. It feels like you've like lived a lot in a
I
very
know.
short
I
space.
know, right? I've lived a lot in these 34 years.
Okay, so yeah, so you got a lot still left to do, girl. We just getting started. Do you want to have any more kids?
So I'm torn. I'm torn between being completely done, and I'm torn with maybe like having one more. But I know that I don't want to have another child unless I'm married. So after a certain age, it's like I'm cutting that off. So we'll
Mhm.
see. I would like a
Nice.
daughter. Like I have 2 boys. So I would like
You
a
would
daughter.
like a girl.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't know. Not my plan.
It's funny. Plans don't always go like how you plan.
Hmm.
So, however you see it, I feel like as women, we have these things like you were in a relationship, and I don't want to be an anti-marriage person. That's not what, that's not what I'm
Hmm.
saying, but you were in a relationship and, you had your children. So you didn't have a piece of paper, but the relationship was happening.
Yeah.
So, you just never know like when your blessings are supposed to come. I know that's ideally you would want to have a partner
Hmm.
and, obviously, hopefully you would.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I just
Whatever
don't.
God see fit. That's
There
not. It's
you
not
go.
my plan. It's
There
God's
you
plan,
go.
and however He plans it out, then I'm gonna just go along with
We
it.
can write it down on a piece of paper, however, whenever, however
Hmm.
you want to see it. Um, I say that because I again went through the same thing. My son was 12 years old when my daughter was born,
Okay.
and different person, different time of my life. And when she turned 1 years old, her father went away
Oh.
for the
Wow.
first, 5 years of her life. So
Hmm.
when I was reviewing the show, the whole time I was like, I don't know, that thing when they come out, you have to like figure out what that looks like.
Yeah.
Um, for me, it resulted in another baby, but we had some unresolved things that we needed to handle. You know what I'm saying? And it was a long relationship. It went on for many, many years, probably more than it should have.
Okay.
But I say that to say when you're like bringing he's home now, so y'all have all that figured out. But I
Right.
think that when they go away, that's a long time when they come home, and then how do they fit back in?
Into your life. Yeah.
Yeah. And your boys are how old are they?
So I have a 15-year-old and an 8-year-old.
So how was that when he came home?
They were excited. They were so
Yeah.
happy to be with him because my younger son, like he was almost 2, like when
Hmm.
his dad left. So it was kind of like trying to like rebuild the relationship. Like, yeah, he knows who he is. He knows he's his dad, but it's different from having him like, in person. So I feel like he's done a really good job at like showing up for the kids, being involved. So
Hmm.
yeah, so I'm just excited to kind of see like, where this goes,
Them
not
develop their
relationship
relationship.
wise, but like their relationship.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I feel like sometimes that's easier when you don't have somebody in your life, you know what I'm saying,
Hmm.
to distract you from that or
Right.
interfere with that. The guys are weird about that.
Yeah.
Um, was that your only serious relationship?
Um, I'm gonna say as far as relationships, like I dated people for a long time that I was like really serious, but I wouldn't say like it just wasn't on that like level.
Mhm.
I
On that
like if
level.
anybody ever asked me like how many boyfriends you had, I'm probably going to say 2, and
Hmm.
one doesn't really count. So it's really one.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I'm not an in and out of a relationship kind of person. I know
Mhm.
some people are, so it definitely takes me a long time. First of all, it takes me a long time to find somebody I like.
Right.
And then when I do, we're together. So,
Right.
there's not any dating for me is not necessarily fun. I can have a good time
Hmm.
and go out and talk shit, but I'm probably not going to bring anything home because I don't really like nobody like that.
I feel you. I'm not mad at that.
What is it like the scene in Philly?
What you've seen on the show is not far off than what it is here. I think that dating here, I feel like a lot of people don't want to be committed. Like they want all of the
Benefits?
privileges that come with a relationship, but none of the responsibilities and commitment that it takes to actually be in a relationship and get through a relationship. And yeah, so that's what I feel like I've come across. But like prior to the show, like with dating, I felt like I was always the girl before the relationship. Like I'm teaching you how to love. We're like we're doing everything like we're in a relationship, but you don't want to be in a relationship. And then when we end things, you go and do all those things and give another person all of those things that I wanted. So that's kind of what dating has been like for me. Very ghetto, would not recommend.
But I mean, have you been dating guys your age, younger, older?
I it was a variety.
A
So it
variety.
to me it doesn't really matter the age because men's maturity is just I don't know. But yeah, so I feel like I've dated a variety and different types. Like everybody says like, "Oh, well maybe you should switch up your type." I did. I did a 360 on my type and it just still
What's your type?
I don't even know what my type is. Like everybody kept saying, like, "Oh, Kiara, you like all, you like the street guys." And when I was younger, in my 20s, yeah, I like the street guys. But being older now, like with kids, I don't want the street guy. I want the guy with the 9 to 5. I want the 401k, 403b, IREs. Like that's the type of like I want the regular.
Well, this is the
That
problem with that. You know, I've been around a little bit longer than you. This is the problem with that. They're there,
Mhm.
but it's the swag. So when the 401k guy has the swag, he's the same as the street guy. He's just not.
I've
You
learned
know,
it 100%.
it's the
I don't
job is
disagree.
different, but the guy is exactly the same.
Exactly. I agree with you 100%. We're on the same page because I definitely feel that way. Like the established guy is equivalent to the street guy.
Hmm.
I agree.
Hmm. It's the swag. It's dangerous. I mean, you can give it up, but you probably won't because
I know. I
because you like
know.
what you like. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I had a conversation with my son. One thing, your son is getting a little older. The one thing about being a boy mom is y'all start having a conversations, and your son helps you understand how men think.
Hmm.
It's really wild. I remember my son was in high school and he was dating this girl, probably about 15 years old. So
Hmm.
it wasn't real dating. He had a school girlfriend.
Right.
And so school's out. Soon as school's out, she's calling the phone, and I'm like, he's not here yet. And so when he gets in, I'm like, so and so called you, and he's like, all right, train is closed, goes outside. And in my mind, I'm like, you're not gonna
You're not
call
gonna
her
call her
back.
back.
And he's like, yeah, I am, but that wasn't his priority. I feel like I
Right.
was, making it a priority more than he was.
Yeah,
So
I think
they,
my son is like that too. My son is the same way. I'm so curious to see like how he is when it comes to dating. Like, so right now he's in the phase like, no, mom, I'm not telling you, I'm not bringing a girl around. Like, he wants to really consult with his dad. But I feel like when he's a little bit older, it'll be different. But he's like, I don't want you to like be cool with them and like wanting to hang around them. That's because you want to be doing you and think you're gonna be bringing multiple girls around.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
don't.
yeah, yeah. So then don't bring him over here. Then
Yep, and
that's
that's
what you're
fine.
doing. Cause yeah. So which, like I said, I'll be all over the place. Cause if I don't say it, I'll forget about it. So when I was talking to Jay and I asked him, what did his mom and dad say when they saw him on the sofa with Sarah? And he was like, "Oh, they just know who I am." And I was like, "I don't believe that. I don't believe that
Yeah.
because I would have let my son know. You
I would
know,
have for sure been checking my
are
son.
you
Like I,
okay?
yeah, I'm one of those moms. Like, man, you was out of line for that. Like, but
Yeah,
I also feel like as moms, as boy moms, we have to hold our son accountable because at the end of the day, like we know what it's like to date people. So you don't want to raise somebody that
right.
like doesn't treat women right. And I'm not saying that that's what his mom did, because she probably did say something and maybe
She
he just
probably
don't
said
remember.
something. I
Or
was like, come on now.
yeah,
She said
yeah,
nothing. That was funny.
yeah. I definitely, I when I watched it, I was like, she might have
Maybe,
did something.
maybe not.
Yeah,
Because,
I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know.
But like you said, if you're going to not hold them accountable, or maybe if there's not a mom around, then, that explains why some of them are like they are. I don't know what it is about the swag. It's definitely not a good thing. The swag is like sugar. Like, know,
No,
like
listen,
you want it, but you
but you
probably
not. It's
shouldn't.
not good for you. You're not really
Yeah.
supposed to have
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I know.
I don't know. It's a problem at this point in my life. It's probably not going to get fixed. Um, so dating as a single mom, how is that with teenage boys? Well, there's
um,
kind of a.
Yeah, I feel like now that my son is older, it's a little bit easier. But before it was hard because it's like I want to spend time with the other person, but I got to spend a lot of time with my kids. But
Mhm.
I don't want y'all to spend time with each other. So it's really trying to like manage your
Balance it.
time. Yeah, like just,
Yeah.
balance your time. And then I feel like it's also like I feel like even if you don't bring the person around the kids know that you're talking to somebody. Like they
Mhm.
know that somebody else is occupying, your time. So I think it's just like weird with even when it comes time to introduce someone to your kids, like how do you navigate that? Like, like I've only done it one time. So it's kind of weird for me because they're used to their dad. Like that's what they want. And I also think it's also awkward because at the time, their dad wasn't around. So it was like, I don't want to bring this person and
You have to
think it's a
explain.
replacement, or it's like, oh, now they're getting attached to him. Like it's just a
Yeah.
weird situation. It's a
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
weird situation.
I didn't do it either. My son, like, he met my girl's dad. That was the first time I had ever introduced him to somebody because you don't know, and they do know. I remember
Mhm.
I ended it with my girl's dad. We probably was like on a break, or what did I say, spin the block or whatever, but we were on and off.
Yeah.
And so I start going out with this guy, and my kids knew. Like, I was like,
Hmm.
who are you talking to? What is going on? Like, my youngest didn't know so much, but my older daughter was probably about 13. And so I went on a date with him finally, and she's like, so do you like him? And I'm like, well, he's kind of like a bologna sandwich. If you're hungry, you'll
It's
eat a
cool.
bologna sandwich. But I really would prefer a steak. So
I'm with
there's
you.
no point in you meeting him because he's just a bologna sandwich.
Yeah, this isn't going anywhere,
It's
so
not
it's no
going
point.
anywhere.
Yeah, no, I definitely get that.
How do you navigate the internet with having children?
I feel like I haven't had a hard time with the internet and having kids or anything. I haven't come across any like challenges, at least not yet. Knock on wood.
I mean, they get so much information.
But I feel like with my kids, when it pertains to like certain stuff, like my son, so my younger one, he's really like into YouTube. So a lot of his stuff he gets from YouTube, but I kind of like monitor what, he watches. So for him, it's not bad. The older one, like it's TikTok, it's all of this different
Everything.
stuff. So,
Yeah.
and everything seems to be sexualized now. So I'm like, we gotta have to talk. Then it's like, please don't do this, please. And then it's like, as a boy mom, like boys typically do things faster than girls. Well, maybe not now, but back when I was younger, that was what it
Hmm.
was. So I'm like trying to tell him, like, I know I can't stop you from doing anything, but can we go the protected way? And that's kind of just like how you gotta talk to
Yeah,
them
because
now.
that
Trying
comes
to
up.
have the
Like,
conversation earlier than you really want to have it. So that's what
yeah.
I've seen come about.
I figure I just answer the question. Whatever you're gonna ask me, I'm just gonna tell you the truth.
Yeah,
And
pretty much.
hopefully, it lands how it's supposed to.
Yeah.
So, ready to love. What brought you over here?
So to be honest, like me and my friends, they always talked about like how I would be good for a dating show. Now, I didn't necessarily think of Ready to Love, but I just happened to be on Instagram and I seen, the casting flyer, and I was like, let me just try this.
Why
Like,
not?
let's just,
Yeah.
yeah, like, oh, like the worst that could happen is you just don't find anybody. You
Had you
just
watched the show before you
yeah. So I watched the very first season, and then I applied, and I was like, I'm binge watching every season because I need to know, what I'm getting myself into. So every season was a little bit different. It was
Mhm.
similarities, of course, but it was a little bit different. So I just needed to know what I signed up for.
What was your favorite season?
um, I don't know. I don't know which one was my favorite season. I can say I kind of like the drama. So I don't remember what season this was, but I know like it was this big argument when they went to the getaway. I can't remember what her name is, but she was like a little bit bigger and she had like big hair.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And they were over there. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
Dallas.
that
That
I
was
like that.
Dallas.
I was like, oh, she's going off.
She's a lot. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then they were like getting into it at the ladies' lounge and
Yep. Yeah, that was nasty.
yeah. That'll catch your attention. Were you concerned about that? Were you like, I hope they don't be over in the ladies' lounge acting a fool?
Yes, I was like, well, and it's Philly, so I'm like, oh my God, I hope these girls not messy. Like, I don't have time for this. So to be honest, if you talk to any of the other girls, like during the first like part of recording and all of that, like I was very standoffish because I'm like, I don't want to like get cool with these people. I don't know them. I don't know their personality. I didn't come here to make friends. I came here to find love. So I was really like standoffish in the beginning. And towards the end, like then I started to, open up more and be cool with the girls. Not that I was mean or anything, but it was just like,
You
yeah,
gotta fall back. I can get with that because like
yeah,
if you talk too much, you make me uncomfortable. So I
yeah,
have to like, see what the energy is.
yeah. So that was kind of how I was. Like Tay and Rose, they were like, "Oh my God, Kiara, you were so standoffish." And I'm like, "What is wrong with that girl?" And then they were like, "But now I love you, and I'm so happy, that we're friends." But yeah, I was.
Well, I don't know you, and now we're gonna be over here dating the same man. So how does that work where you come in and you know who you like, and then this
Mhm.
person right next to you is saying they like the same person? So
Yeah, yeah, it's weird, and that's why like. Taylor, I like everybody. I don't have an issue with anybody from the cast. But as far as like my friends go, it's Tay and Rose. And it just so happened that we didn't have any matching
you
connections.
didn't
So
have any.
everything worked out.
Well, it was enough over there. Rose and that group, they all ended up coming in the same every single time, same
Yeah.
connection every time.
Hmm.
Um, so what was it about Jay that had you over there smiling, my man, my man, my man?
So for me, I think it was that he like I felt like he was showing that he was interested in me. Like I felt like he was one of the only ones that was like texting me and just like really making it known like, listen, I like you, I want to get to know you. And it didn't feel like it was like pulling teeth, like I had to chase him or like I didn't feel confused or like wondering like, hey, well, where
Do
do
you
we
like me or not? Yeah.
yeah, I didn't want to have because for me coming on here, I said you're not going to allow these people to produce you. You're going to remain true to yourself, act how you normally would in the real world, but just be a little bit more open because you know that this is like a speed dating process, and that's what I did in the real world. I'm not chasing anybody to figure out whether they like me. Is either you're going to show your interest, and then because your actions are a reflection of how you feel about somebody. So
Right, right.
if they're showing me that they're
Say that
interested,
again, because that's very important. Your
yeah,
actions
people's
are how you feel.
actions are a
Yeah,
reflection of how they feel about you.
absolutely.
Yeah, so I just felt like he really, wanted to get to know me, and that was why I gravitated more towards, Jay.
Okay. Um, the timeline I feel like has everybody confused, especially because of the break.
Hmm.
So, when did you guys start filming?
So we started filming, I want to say in July.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, we started in July. So maybe like the second week of July, I want to say.
And so you were filming until when?
I think we filmed until the middle of August. Yeah, the middle of August. Maybe like to the
Okay.
18th or something like that.
So it was like a month, little over a month that you were filming.
Yeah, probably like a little month and a half or something like that
So much takes place in that small amount of
at a
time.
time. Yeah.
Were you connected with anybody else?
I wouldn't not. Okay, so this is how I'm going to word it because I hate when people say like connections and then they're talking about friendships. So we're on here to find a potential partner. So in that way, no. But I did have like a connection with Naeem because we were close, we talked all the time, but it wasn't that like romantic connection that I felt that I had with Jay.
Naeem is nothing like how I thought he was going to be. I did have a chance to talk to him. He's probably one of the most charismatic people ever. He's always so positive. So I
Uh-huh.
can see why he would be somebody that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, Naeem came over there with 5 kids and 3 baby moms.
Yes, he
And
sure did.
so I feel like in that short amount of time, that's never going to be a thing that you will be investing your time in. But I do think in the real world, somebody is going,
Yeah.
appreciate, whatever
Yeah.
Naeem got going on over there. But I could see that. Um, I thought the same thing. Now I was like, so what is the connection? Like, is it just a conversation, or because y'all keep saying connection? For me, a
Right.
connection means this is somebody I want to like pursue something with.
Exactly. That's how I look at connection as well.
So just Jay. That was your only real connection.
Yes. I mean, I wanted to get to know Khalil. I thought he was attractive.
That was my
Um,
next question. What the heck with Khalil? Like, and
I
we're
know.
all
I
like,
feel like
no,
everybody
how?
has been like, "Oh, Khalil was such a catch." Like the girls fumble Khalil. Khalil, what I will say is he's one of those guys that's strict on his boundaries, and I respect that 100%. Like he's not budging on things that, like his preference is his preference. And so for me and him had a conversation, and he basically said that he doesn't want to date anybody with children because he doesn't have children. So I have two. These kids aren't going anywhere, so that just let me know like he just wouldn't be a connection for me, and that was just what it was.
How old is Naima? He's gonna have to like and be real because his boundaries are very, 5 years. And now he's wanting to take Angie out. I was like, you want to take out Angie and then wait 5 years? But she's got kids or a
Yeah,
son.
right.
So yeah, he's scooting his his little boxes
Yeah, I
real
mean, I
quick.
told him, listen, at this big old age, people have kids.
Everybody got kids.
Everybody got kids. Like, so,
Except for the people that don't want kids, probably, are kind of like, I don't care one way or the other.
yeah, they're like, if I have them, I do. If I don't, then that's cool too.
I was like, what is going on with Khalil? Because he was definitely like on
Hmm.
paper, like he fine, he
Yeah.
all the things.
Yeah.
He was even like positive, like the few
Hmm.
interactions that we seen, he wasn't messy or anything. So,
Yeah, no, he definitely wasn't messy at all. Like, even after the show and all of that, he was never messy.
well, that's cool. But he gonna have to change his parameters a little bit, or give
Open
up
them up a little
on.
bit.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. Um, and he might be cheating himself, like meeting somebody with kids, and just because you don't have yours yet doesn't mean you won't get them. And so family, that enriches your life.
Yeah, and I think also like if I was a man, that I wouldn't mind. Like I get the preference of maybe not having multiple children, but if she has at least one, then that's a plus for you because then you kind of see what type of mother she would potentially be to
Yeah,
your future
to your
child.
kids.
That's
Yeah,
not something because when people don't have kids, you don't really know until you have a kid.
it's
So
true. And there's no real book to tell you, because they're all different. They're all like little
yeah,
snowflakes that don't make any sense.
trial and error. That's what it is.
Yeah,
Parenting, trial and
yeah.
error.
And then like I look at mine and I'm like, this one is nothing like that one, and they grew up in the same house. So how is that?
Imagine how I feel. I'm the same way. Two kids, same dad, night and day. Night and day.
um, so back to Jay. How many dates did y'all have in that 1 month process?
Just one-on-one dates or anything that included the group or just one-on-one?
1-on-one. Yeah, where you was, yeah,
Um,
getting to know each other for real, for real.
I want to say two, just one-on-one dates.
So what are all these 16 hours? I see you every day. What is that?
Girl, when I heard that, I'm like, first of all, we wasn't filming for 16 hours every day. So I want to clear that up. It was never 16 hours every day. Now, did we have 16-hour days? Yes. Maybe on days where it was like the reunion, 16 hours, or
Yeah.
maybe like the first day where we came for the mixer, 16 hours. And then, yes, our days where we went to the vault was kind of long. It wasn't 16 hours, but they were a pretty
It's just
pretty
like a
long.
deliberation, trying to figure
Yeah,
out
like
what.
maybe a good 6 hours for like the days that we were in the vault. Jay, I'm gonna say like Jay didn't even see me every week, so that's why the narrative of I was seeing her every day, 16 hours a day. I'm so drained, I needed a break, and I'm like, I kind of
What?
count when he how many dates we went on, and that's why I asked you, are we considering group dates? Because I can name every date that me and Jay went on, and two of them were only like solo dates with me and him. Maybe three. It was three.
Okay, so what were the group dates that y'all went on?
Okay, so the very first one was the skating one that we went with Naeem and Hussein and all them.
Right.
And then the other group date is when we did the cycling downtown. That wasn't aired, but if you, it was like an extra on YouTube or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we did that. Me and him together, we just went to this Mexican restaurant. Then it was the deliberation one where he was up for the elimination, where we did the pizza thing.
Hmm.
And then of course like the meet the ex, like that date, the meet the ex date. And then I met his mom, his parents, and
Hmm.
then he met my cousins, and I think
To
that was.
me, that's filming though. That's not like a date. Like if there's a camera crew there, you know what I'm saying? It's a date, but not like, where I get to like just let my guard down and talk like how I want to talk. So,
Yeah. So the thing is, the rules are you're really not supposed to date like outside of filming
right.
because
And I understand that, but I'm saying like to be so exhausted and worn out from all these two dates that you had.
yeah. So okay. So what I will say is we did do 2 dates outside of what the people knew about. We did do
Hmm.
2 dates, regular dates. So I think one date we did like karaoke. We did like a karaoke thing, and that was like in the very beginning, like closer to like the everything that was like the first episode. Like me and him, we did a karaoke, and then we went to the movies. Those were the only 2 dates that me and him went on like outside of the.
Oh, dang it. She lost her. As soon as it gets good, then they pop off of there. That's the only thing about doing a live. The elimination date does not count, definitely. Let's see what y'all talk about till she gets back. Loretta Price, no one is perfect. Well, I would agree with that. Hey, Chicago girl. Child, I'm waiting on her to here she is.
And that was actually Rose. So I don't know why if I like ignore a call, it just doesn't like I don't just pop back up here.
Pop back up.
Yeah.
It's maybe the software. But anyway, so 2 dates outside of, I mean, like I said, I don't feel like filming dates are the same thing as real
Real
dates. That
dates
not
that
enough for somebody to like really get to know you and be in your comfort zone. So I was confused by the exhaustion. So thank you for clearing that up.
yes, no problem.
Now you brought up, because I forgot about it. You brought up the meet your ex date. Yeah.
What
You
is it
said
you want
something.
to
You
know?
said I always have to keep reminding him that he's just the homie.
Yeah.
And so, no, nobody should have to be reminded that they're the homie.
Right.
So,
No, I don't disagree. I feel like, you know, I think so. What really happened was they asked me to bring an ex. They really wanted to use my kid's dad. They were
I
like,
really hate that. I hate that. It's
but they
stupid.
were like so adamant, like, well, can we FaceTime him in jail? And I'm like,
Are you for real?
yeah. So I'm like, no. And I said, well, I don't have an ex. I don't have anybody. They're like, no, you have to find somebody because all of the other people said that they didn't have an ex to bring. So I'm like, okay, let me think of someone that probably wouldn't mind coming on here, but can also speak to me because we tried to date before. So since he already did TV, I was like, okay, well, let me just ask and, see what he said. I said, if this is not something that, you want to do, I'm perfectly okay with that. But these are the rules. I do not want you to do X, Y, and Z. I just want you to vet this person to make sure they're good for me. Because, like I said, sometimes when you're in situations, you don't see them for what they are. So sometimes you need somebody from the outside looking in to kind of be like, all right, girl, I know you kind of like him, but did
Maybe
you
not.
like
Yeah.
think about this? He said this. Like, this is this. You get what I'm saying? So sometimes you need that to hear that from somebody else. So I'm like, well, I know he'll be honest. So that's why I was like, oh, I gotta remind him because I know like as much as I say like, hey, we're friends and all of those things, like he knows that we're friends. But for years, I don't think that he can get over the just how he said on the date, like I will wait for her for
He's holding on. Yeah.
baby, like he's gonna hold on to it. Well, now he probably over it because he didn't got dragged on the internet. I didn't block them and
And
all of
that's
that,
his
so he
fault.
probably
I'm
over
so
it
glad that
now.
you said that. I'm so glad you said you blocked him just because, like I said, first of all, bring the ex. I think that's stupid. Why would I be doing that? No, you cannot call my ex in. That's ridiculous. I'm not about to let y'all that much
Yeah,
into my life. And then I couldn't bring my ex. I don't talk to him. So what, what do we do?
yeah. Like, what do you do in
What,
that moment? Yeah,
but he said he waited until you were 18. And I think that's the thing that like triggered everybody because
yeah,
even though like you're oblivious to it, it just says something different. And then you follow up with, I got to keep reminding this guy like that we're
yeah.
just friends. So how old were you when you said you tried to date? What was that?
So I was of age when we tried to date. So I think we tried to date like in my early 20s. It was probably like one of the times where my kid's dad went to jail. We tried, it didn't work out. And then years passed where we wouldn't talk, even though we went to the same church, like we would see each other and not even speak to each other. Like it was one of those type of things. And then closer to the show, a little bit right before the show, we tried it again. And I'm just like, yeah, like this is just not
Not
this
it.
yeah, like this is just not going to work. But I felt like for me, it was kind of hard because, like I said, we grew up in the church together. Our families know each other. Our families know each other. So I didn't want it to be like this type of friction. So that's why I was like, oh, well, I told him like we could be cool, like just so it wouldn't be like any type of weird energy or
Just
animosity.
cordial.
Yeah, like a cordial type thing. I mean, now it's none of that, but it is what it
That's a good thing. Long as I know he's blocked, we don't even have to talk
is.
about him no more. Blocked. That's it. That's all. Um,
Yes, very good.
yeah, I hate the meet the ex thing. It doesn't make any sense to me. Um, so the getaway.
Hmm.
Why did you feel like you needed to give Jay that talk down to the car? Don't go here acting a fool.
I felt like I just was giving him the talk just because I know, like, when people are gathered in a house together, things can be messy.
Hmm.
And to be honest, my family told me ahead of time, like, don't you go on this TV and embarrass me. So for me, I was like, okay, let me set some stuff in place so I don't, you
They
know,
were concerned about the pop off.
yeah. So I said, listen, like, I just don't do anything that you wouldn't want me to do to you, but I want you to respect me. Like that's all I'm asking you to do is to respect me. We had this talk, you know, and I thought he understood it. And I said it multiple times to make sure,
He
to
absolutely understood it.
yeah.
Stop playing.
Yeah, well, he clearly didn't understand it because on his interview with you, he said he thought that I meant having sex.
And I said, I think you're playing in my face because that's what
Yeah.
that was. I think he's very smart. And I guess maybe trying to figure out how far he could push the limits because
Yeah, yeah, that was what it was. He just wanted to see what he could do. People always try to like test your hand to see like how you would act and what they can get away with, so then they know how to move forward and handle you and treat you. So
just in
people
case
only
you
do
want to
what you
come bust
allow.
the windows out their house. So you got to see like those types of behaviors might
Yeah,
get, in trouble.
yeah,
Um, I just think there's no way that he did not believe that having his legs over someone and massaging and all of that and saying that that's not intimate, that's where I feel like you playing with me. And so
hmm,
the pop off came. And
Yeah.
everybody, well, not everybody, but some people were like, "Oh my God, that was so immature. I don't know why she did that." And I was like, "That was so very tame because
Listen.
if the real pop off would have happened, it might have looked very different." I feel
Mhm.
like he got everything he deserved. You didn't do anything really, but what?
Yeah. Yeah, and to me, it wouldn't have even been that if he would have gave me this space to process my feelings, gave me this space to kind of like get my emotions together, to kind of calm down. But the fact that I wasn't even allowed that space to process my emotions, that was why I reacted the way that I reacted. Because if you notice, like I'm in the bed, I'm like, let me take a nap, let me sleep this off because he got me effed up. That's what I'm thinking. Like, let
Right,
me go ahead
right.
and take a nap. Like, and then it was just like you weren't allowing me, you know, you wasn't allowing me to cope with my feelings at the time. So that's why you got what you got.
I felt like I got nothing. I felt like you really didn't do anything but go in the room and tell him to like get the hell on somewhere while you know what I'm saying? Because you think you're funny asking me what's wrong. Don't ask me what's wrong because
When you
you
know.
you know what's wrong. And so yeah,
Exactly.
I hate
And that's
that.
how I felt. And to be honest, I was mad about the whole legs intertwined. And for Tommy to say you can't control her legs being intertwined, it's nothing to say like, hey, can you get your leg off me? Like it didn't have to be rude or disrespectful. You can get somebody's
Well,
leg
they
off.
both did it. So
Yeah,
Tommy,
y'all both did it. So
both
that's
of
number
y'all
one.
did it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was mad about that, but I was more so mad because I felt like you seen I gave you the look of death when I seen that your legs were intertwined. So now I'm standing in the kitchen and you start doing more. So then you start massaging her and then you're looking at me. So to me, that was just like disrespectful. Like, yeah, you see what you gonna do? Like, yeah, I'm massaging her. Like, so what? So to me, like that was very disrespectful. And that's why I was as mad as I was, because it's like you looking at me and you clearly see that I'm upset and you don't care. So you was like, let
You
me do
don't
more.
care. And I feel like too, I would have felt better if you said, "Yeah, I kind of like her a little bit," because then it makes sense. Don't be
Right.
like, "No, there's nothing there. We absolutely have no connection. So then why do I have to get my feelings hurt for nothing?"
Yeah, but on here he said Kiara knew that I had a connection with her. She knew. Girl, I ain't know shit. I knew nothing. I did not, because if I knew that they had a connection, then it would have been, I would have handled it differently. Like, yeah, I still would have felt disrespected, but I probably would have been like, you know what, all right, forget him. Like, you
This
know what
is
I'm saying? I
this is
probably would have handled
the
it
how
that
the
way.
thing is
Like,
supposed
if
to
I
go.
expected to see him with anybody, it would have been Angie. Cause I'm like, he told me like, oh, I kind of like her a little bit. I kind of want to see where it goes. But this was in the beginning. We're now at the getaway. The getaway is more for you to solify the connection
Lock
that
it
you already
down.
had, not to for new ones to
Bring more
bloom and
people.
create new ones. Like, yeah, it's just like, come on.
Did you watch last season?
Yes, I did.
Shout out to Chaz. Chaz is my boy, but Chaz was down to the retreat making new people on
Yeah,
the
and that's why he dipped right out. That's why he left.
yeah, then he had to cry because it was too much pressure. He had to leave.
Yeah, but he
So
did that to himself. So it's kind of just like you put yourself in these situations and then you're mad at how people respond. Like that doesn't make sense.
at all. So yeah, I didn't see you crash out to be honest. I thought I was like, what are they talking about? And I was somewhere, I don't remember. I said, I feel like I am an immature crash out because I just feel like that was very mild.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know if I want to talk to you today, tomorrow, or the next day. Like, don't tell me when I'm going to be through with my
Yeah,
feelings.
like you can't tell somebody when they should, be in a space to talk to you. Like you gotta allow people to process their feelings because you gotta remember, like, although this is being recorded, this is still our regular lives. Like this is our feelings. So in a typical world, like, yeah, like I I need me a good 2-3 days to get myself together. But for them, it's Kiara's holding a grudge. Kiara's holding a grudge. Yes, Kiara was 100% holding a grudge. You know why Kiara was holding a grudge? Because the apology was, I'm sorry for the visual. I'm sorry for how it looks. Not I'm sorry that I did it. I'm not sorry that I did it, but I'm sorry for how it looks to you. To me, that's not an apology, and that's why I still kind of harbored those
I
feelings.
mean, it looked like what it was. He's standing on business. I tried to like, I was like, I mean, at
Mm-hmm.
the end of the day, if you like someone, you do things like to not hurt their feelings. That's
Exactly.
it. It's really not that hard. Okay, child, let's talk about this car you want him to buy.
Oh Lord. Okay. So you want me to just hop into it, or you got a question?
Let's get into it. You was had a breakdown or something, and you called him. I'll tell you what he said. He said you had your car broke down, and you
Lie.
called him, and he told you that he's got a friend that sells cars, and you said you wanted a new car. But then this is what he said. He never said you asked him to buy you a car. He said, in my head, I was thinking, is she trying to play me? Like, we've had conversations and she knows that's not the type of guy I am.
Okay, so yeah, so let's clock this. Number one, my car never broke down. Let's get that clear. What happened was once we were done filming, my car got stolen. That's what happened. I asked him if he could take me to pick up the rental. I never asked him to pay for it. No, nothing. Just take me to the rental car, please. He agreed. I told him the day, the time. The day the time came, I called. Jay's nowhere to be found. I Ubered to the place. At this point, I'm mad because you said that you were going to do this. So then it came to me needing to take the rental back. I said, hey, can you meet me at the place so I can drop my rental off and you can bring me back home? Oh no, I'm waiting for my mom is coming to my house to drop something off to me, so I can't take you. I said, so you can't ask your mom like, hey, I'm about to run Kiara somewhere real fast. Like, am I not any type of priority to you? And I feel like I had a rental for a couple of weeks, so it happened more than one time. And to me, like, that was frustrating because you're unreliable. And I don't know if he didn't want to take me because he thought I probably was going to ask him to pay for the rental, but the rental was paid for, before I got there. So then when it came down to me getting a car, I was playing around like, oh, you want to get me a new car? You know how you play around? Like, for him to think that I was like being serious, like, yeah, go cash out on a new car for me. I can't even cash myself out on a new car. I pay a car new, like.
Well, that's what I was trying to figure out because I was like, well, how far was it into the process? And he was like 5 months in. And I was like, y'all weren't there for 5 months. So yeah, that's what had me confused. No, I didn't think that he wanted.
We didn't even date for 5 months, so I don't even know where that came from. I literally told you it was July, August. We stopped talking the end of September. Where did 5 months come in at? Like, we stopped talking at the end of September.
So is this because you wanted to go on dates every day?
No, and that's another thing. Like, to think that I wanted to go on a date every single day. So to create that narrative, so people could be like, "Oh, she want to go out every day." No, it was never that. The thing is, we never went out at all. Once the show stopped airing, we never went on a date at all. So he said, "Oh, can you give me a week to kind of get myself together or whatever?" So I said, "Okay, cool. Like, we all tired, drained,
right?
No problem." So then the week came and gone. So I'm like, okay, well, you said we were going to go out on a date. Like, what happened? Oh, he just kept giving me the runaround, kept spinning me. And then that's when he hit me with the, oh, I need a month. I said, oh, absolutely not. Like, this is not, like, just to plan a date. And then for him to say, like, well, dating to her is going to a restaurant. Who said that? Like, granted, I like to eat. And whatever we do, I would hope that food is included. Right. But it's not that I just only want to go to a restaurant. Like, that's not the case. Like, it's so much other stuff that we could have done. And even if it was like a financial thing, like, you can find other things that can fit into whatever your budget is. Like, you get what I'm saying? So
he didn't think, he said, well, y'all could have go to the park, but he didn't think you would be like, okay.
But did he ask? Did he ask?
Well, he assumed, because I wrote assumed down on this paper. And I was like, well, you got to eat. And I can't imagine that anybody wouldn't want to come over to, you can order some food. We could go over there and have a glass of wine or whatever and, make it a thing. I know he just assumed that you wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah, so the thing is, I went to his house. I feel like, and another part of the issue was that I felt like I was the one that was always like reaching out, like, hey, what you doing? I'm gonna come see you, or you won't come here, you won't come see me. Like, it was always like me doing the like, I want to see you type of thing. So that annoyed me because then I felt like I was chasing him. And who does, when you're dating somebody, you want it to be equal. You want the interest to be equal. You want to feel wanted and desired by your partner. And I just wasn't feeling it. And I said that to him. So he said, I'm going to do a better job, blah, blah, blah. But make it clear, when I've come to his house, like, not to say that we never watched movies, because we did, but more so him listening to music and him smoking. I don't smoke. So I'm just sitting there twiddling in my phone, or I'm like watching you. Like, that's not fun for me. Like, that's not
So
fun.
he just be butted out, just chilling and not really moving.
Yeah, he just be doing his, doing his own thing.
Yeah.
Like, doing his own thing. And to me, like, that's not fun. And that's not what I'm used to. And that's just not something that I want to get used to. Like, that's not, I don't do that with myself. Like, of course, I enjoy being home. I'm a Lifetime movie girly. I will sit on this couch and watch Lifetime and order food or cook food or whatever. Like, I have no issue with being in the house. But if we're
Mhm.
in the big, the beginning stages
Now
of
there's a
dating.
pursuit that's supposed to be
Yeah,
happening
like you're
here.
supposed to, like, you're supposed to pursue the person that you want to be with. And I'm not even saying you had to take me to this 5-star restaurant or any of those things. It's just you weren't putting in any effort. So mind you, I'm complaining for weeks. So now he's finally like, okay, well, I was thinking that we could go to Olive Garden because I wanted the tour of Italy. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And it's not that I hate Olive Garden, so don't get me wrong, no shade. But Olive Garden is
That's
more so,
boyfriend things. That's
yeah,
not.
and it's more so when you're locked in with somebody and y'all on your way home. You
Yes.
don't want to cook, and you like, hey, let's just go here and grab some food.
Right.
Not, I'm in a doghouse. My girl been begging for me to take her out on a date. Let me take her to Olive Garden, especially when there's so many other restaurants. If you wanted to go out to eat, it's so many other small, inexpensive restaurants. It just showed that you put in no effort. I don't like no low effort, no nothing. I don't want that. So I'm like, Olive Garden. Do you think that that's a place that I would want to go?
Not no, not in the pursuit of, like you said, if we like, let's go grab something and bring it back to the house, or let's go eat right
Yeah,
quick.
like that's different.
Yeah,
But if
that's
you're
when you're
trying
my
to,
boyfriend and you're not that.
yeah. And then I felt like after the Olive Garden conversation, I realized like this is not it. This is not going to work. And I felt like I was kind of like a burden to him, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so I was like, you know what? It doesn't seem like he's going to end this with me. So let me go ahead. Because by this time, I'm mentally checked out. So I don't care. So I was like, let me just go ahead and just end this. And then when I did, it seemed like it was a weight lifted off of his shoulder. Like, it was like, yes, thank God this girl, end this things with me. I ain't got to hear her
Well, I
mouth. I
feel
ain't got
like he
nothing.
came into this thing, and this is like word for word, just about. He said that Kiara is the kind of girl that you got to do extra, and she prefers to be courted a particular kind of way, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm up for it. That's what he said.
Yep.
I don't even hear nothing extra. I think what you're saying is pretty much like it should be a basic expectation of,
Bare minimum.
bare minimum.
And the bare minimum wasn't even met. And he was mad because I was saying, like, the bar is in hell and you're not even achieving that. So he was mad that I said that. But that's the reality. Like, I'm sitting here begging you to do the bare minimum. That is insane. Like, that sounds crazy to me. Like, no. So it just was like, he's not a bad guy. And I think that he'll be good for somebody that's okay with being in the house. I
Mhm.
think that he's not used to dating people where he has to court and take them out and do all of those things. And that's okay for those girls.
But
That's
yeah,
not
for
okay for me.
sure.
And I was transparent in the very beginning. I told you what the type of person I am, what I like, what I expect, and I gave you the option to deal with it or not. You chose to deal with it. And now when it comes time for me to pull your card in the real world, it's a problem.
Well, I feel like we all like seen a genuine connection with you guys,
Mhm.
which I don't think that's changed necessarily. But I mean, only that you're not pursuing a relationship. But
Yeah.
everybody said it. Rose said it. Angie said it. Sahara
Mhm.
said it. Coley said it. Every girl just about said like y'all are not doing enough over here.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
what the heck? What is
Yeah.
the expectation? I don't understand. I feel very blessed because, I got pursued. There was no, because if I hadn't, then I would be single. But,
Right.
and I'm not talking about on an elaborate level. Like you said, it was
Yeah.
just, I felt like, you like me. And so,
Mhm.
what is it like with these guys that, they feel like y'all ain't texting, y'all ain't doing nothing? Y'all just what? Why did you come over here? What does ready for love mean?
I don't know. I really don't know what. To be honest, I feel like I was kind of fooled. Just because I feel like Jay was so much better on the show. Like he was more like, oh, I like you. I'm in constant contact with you. And then once that was over, it was just like, and I don't know if that was his representative, but he's like, oh, I'm chill and I'm laid back. It's nothing wrong with being chill and, laid back, but it's still like, I need to let her know, like, I like her. Like I want her to want to do the things that I want to do, but I'm going to do the things she wants as well. Like that's where the compromise come
He
in.
said you don't want to do things like camping and get your nails dirty. Did you say that?
He never. When I heard that, we never even had a conversation about any of that. So that's why that threw me for a loop. We never had a conversation about camping. We never had a conversation about any of this stuff. So I'm sitting there like, well, who was you talking to? Like, because you wasn't talking to me. Like, and then I was also confused about the layup and talk about our dreams and whatever he said. When did we talk about that?
Well, ain't nobody laying up for a month anyway, whether you was laying up or not laying up. If I'm laying up, then for sure we're going to go somewhere on a date. So talking about our dreams, that's a conversation.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and the layup, I hate that he left that open for interpretation. Like, we never had sex. And sometimes when I hear layup, it means, oh, we laying up and we doing it. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, that's what I think of when I hear layup. And that wasn't anything that we ever did. Like, so.
Well, it could be because he has so many bitches in his DMs.
Listen, because that's what he said. That's what I heard him say.
And he was like, I did not say that. Oprah Winfrey would not let me say that.
Listen, quality over quantity. So go ahead with them. Go ahead with them. Have a glass. And he probably don't have to put no effort in, and that's okay. Go be with them.
I feel like, people match. You know what I'm saying? There's maybe somebody in his DMs that, like you said, that's what they enjoy doing. Everybody doesn't enjoy the same thing, but I appreciate that you're not bending your standards, for not what you want, because that's not a happily ever after. You're never going to do that
at all. And if that was the case, I could have stayed dating out here. I didn't need a TV show to go in there and still not get treated the way I wanted to be treated.
Right.
That doesn't make sense.
So how does Kiara show up in a relationship?
So I think that it's situational. I think it depends on the person. But for me, I feel like communication is everything. And I know like people were saying like my communication was off like when it came to the argument that me and Jay got into. But I think like just making it clear what my intentions are, being intentional when it comes to date and showing that, I care. And it's not always about like, he take me out, date. Like I'll offer another, one time, like, hey, you want to do such and such? Like, let me take you out. Like, because when the thing that people don't understand is when women like somebody, we go all out. We pull out all the shots. Like we do our big one when we really care for somebody. But at the end of the day, the men set the tone for the relationship. And I say that to say like, they are supposed to lead and we're supposed to kind of like follow. That's how it's supposed to go. But if you're going to lead me to hell, I'm not following it.
I'm not going. And I feel like they all came over here and said that. They all came over here and said, lead.
Yeah. And I'll let you lead if I know where you're taking me, if I know where we're going. But if you're leading me to hell, like I'm not doing that. But to me, like showing up in a relationship, I just want my partner to feel cared for. I want them to feel loved. The same thing that I would expect out of them in a relationship is the same thing that I would, give in the relationship as well. Would
you do reality TV again?
Put me on Love and Hip Hop. Like, no, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I would do reality TV again. I don't know necessarily about a dating show. It depends. It depends on the dynamic of the dating show. To be honest, if I was to do another dating show, I would like more of an in the house type thing, and like where we're all together, because I need to see how you act in all type of environments when you're around people. It was Ready to Love is different because we go home every day. But I would like to be on a dating show where we're together the entire time, so I can kind of see like how you navigate certain situations. Is this a person that I can tolerate every day? Like, it's like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I feel like when you're in a house, you can't put your representative on for so
24.
long,
Yeah.
you know?
Okay,
So,
it's funny you say that because I have an idea. I've got it all figured out for you. Did you watch the Queen's Court? The King's
yes, I
Court? You
did.
watch the King's Court? Okay, well, listen, I had an opportunity to talk to some of the queens. Shout out to Catherine and Bree and Dr. Ariel, Dr. Queen Ariel. That would maybe be a good place for you, I think. Tyson,
Maybe.
Thaddeus, Carlos, when you see the kings that they had there, what would be your choice, do you think? Just fun
Um,
looking, because now that you know too much, you probably have a
yeah, I
different opinion.
definitely know too much. So upon first looking, it probably would have been Tyson, but then I would have got pissed off because a list of who going to visit you that day on the refrigerator. No, no, absolutely not. So I probably would have switched my connection probably over to Thaddeus because I feel like the other guy was locked in on his girl very
He
early,
was locked
reminding
in.
me of me and Jay. And I feel like sometimes when people lock in early, it's hard to kind of get into that, like to kind of break whatever it is that
Breaking what
somebody.
they got going on. You know,
Yeah.
especially when it's real. I feel like they're the only ones that are still together.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I just like that these queens were like they were all beautiful. They were
Mm-hmm.
all financially
Established.
secure,
Yeah.
established women. They were all really well educated. So
Mm-hmm.
I was like, look, they weren't all. I watched Love Island too. That's a guilty pleasure. They weren't
Me
all
too.
up there like kissing and doing all the other things too much.
Yes.
I came up with my own kings for the next season. So let's see what
Ew.
you think about my choices. I said Shamar Moore,
Okay.
Michael Strahan,
Oh, okay.
and who was my third one? Oh, now I can't remember his name. He's from God dang it, I can't remember his name. He's in politics now. Um Somebody said Lenny Kravitz. I feel like Lenny Kravitz is just a little bit too old for you. But
Yeah. No.
I'll think of his name in a minute. But you know, Michael Strahan
Yeah,
and
that's good. I think he's good. Shamar Moore.
yeah, yeah. Mature. I was like Shamar would be kind of equal to
Yeah.
Tyson. So yes, I could definitely see you on the
Listen,
Queen's
I might
Court.
need to look in there. When is the next season? When
I
is
don't
the
know. We need to
casting?
get into it. Look at reach out
Yes.
to Queen Catherine because she's very good at sharing information. She's over there actually making movies and producing movies and things. So,
That's right. Yeah.
well, thank you so much for coming over here. I feel like this is the last interview. I did not know I was going to be talking to you, but I'm glad I got a chance to end here. Do you have anything coming up that you want to share?
I actually don't. Like, I'm trying to go back to school to get my MBA, so that's kind of just what I've been like
Yeah.
focusing on. But as far as any type of reality TV type things, I have nothing on the radar as of yet. But maybe it'll be
Hill
things
Harper.
forward.
That was the third one. Hill Harper. That was my third king.
You found you thought of it.
I thought of it. It was right here. So that's all I got. Who said Michael Jordan? Michael Jordan, like the basketball player? Isn't he married? See, they all start coming up with different options of kings.
Yes.
Dang the boss. I don't know who is the boss. What are you talking about, Shayna? Now I'm in the chat. Yes. Anyway, before you leave, I have one last question. I give the guys the question, so I got to have one ready for the ladies.
Okay.
Cardi B or Nicki Minaj?
Cardi B.
Yes.
My girl.
Oh my goodness. That's such a pleasant way to end things, y'all. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, say goodbye to Kiara, and we'll see her probably somewhere on the King's Court. Bye, y'all.
Bye.